What's up, wrestling card collectors? Welcome to another edition of WTCtv. Once again, I don't know why I say it like that, like I'm some kind of radio disc jockey or some shit. Today, we are going to, well, real quickly, Nationals coming up. So today we're going to do a little bit about talking about how to prepare yourself for this event. I myself have only done one before, but I've got a very experienced person on today, Mr. Ryan Schear. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm good, brother.
I appreciate you making some time in this wonderful, great chilly weather we have here in Arizona going on.
It's only 115.
Yeah, at least one of us has got running air conditioning tonight.
Yeah, don't jinx me.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I've done one nationals before, not nationals, one national before. That was the last time it was in Anaheim. So that was whatever year that was.
That was 06.
06? Okay. So that was my one and only I've ever done. Now, I'm very experienced with conventions, period. I do a lot of them. At one point I was doing 35 of them a year. So it's nothing new to me, but this will be a little bit different for me in the sense that it's I don't know, maybe the layout's gonna be a little different. I mean, we're talking about a venue here that's going to be has it been held here before in Atlantic City?
Yes, it has. I'm looking up, I have a pin board that what I do is they used to make pins for the show and you could buy them there along with a shirt and everything else. And so when they made them, I bought them, but then they stopped making them for a while. So I ended up buying Hard Rock pins.
Okay.
So if it was an AC, I bought an Atlantic City one that had, I think it was like 3 years ago. I'm trying to look, and my eyesight's not good. Maybe 2016.
Okay.
Maybe before that. I do know that it was supposed to be 2020, which was the COVID year.
Yep.
So I'm fairly certain it was supposed to be in Atlantic City that year, and then they ended up obviously canceling it, and then they went to Chicago last year.
There seems to be about a mixed reaction I see online. People who like it, people who don't like it.
I don't like it.
You don't like it. Why don't you like it?
I don't like it because I'm not a big fan of the area. It's not easy to get to. You can fly into Philly, but you still have to drive. You can fly into Baltimore like I am. I have a buddy picking me up, and we're going to make the 2 to 3 hour drive. I find that it has a lot of distractions. You'll see, I mean, and a lot of money that was meant for the show ends up on the dealers' tables.
Yeah.
They end up, in the casinos and everything else. And
I'm very familiar with the area. I've done conventions there at the Showboat, which is where I'm staying at for myself, but I've done conventions there before. So you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah. I mean, the dealers hate it for that reason. That's why they hate it. It's not really the proximity as to stuff. I think it's more the fact that it's very easy for people to come in on a Thursday with the intention of spending $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 at the show, but they lose it on a roulette table and they pack up and go home.
That's true. And that's kind of why I've always been, I've never really cared for doing conventions of any kind, like in Las Vegas, for the same reasons. Yeah. I deal in pop culture type things, so celebrity appearances. So even doing them in Los Angeles, I don't care about doing them in Los Angeles because nobody cares about celebrities there. You see them all the time.
Right.
So I get all that. I think it's a really weird city to have it in. Chicago seems to be that's its home base basically, but I have been hearing clamors of it. People wanting to come back to the West Coast.
Well, and they'll never do it. They'll never bring it back to the West Coast. The last time I was on the West Coast was 2006 in Anaheim. The rumor with Atlantic City, again, it's a rumor, I don't have any factual basis, is that they basically give them the convention center for next to nothing.
Which is very appealing.
Of course. The promoters for the National always blame the fact that they can't settle dates in the future. They claim that they can't go to Dallas, whatever the big convention center is there, or Denver, and say, hey, we need a week in August of 2027. And they say, no, we can't do that. And that's their excuse for never bringing it out here. My my
But
opinion,
that's so not true though, to be honest. I mean,
of course of course it's not true.
as
Um,
somebody who's promoting his own shows like that, I mean, you got to book these things way in advance.
right, right. And I mean, my opinion is that all of the big dealers and the majority of the wax dealers, which the show is really propelled by, are on the East Coast.
East Coast, yeah, they don't cuts back on their travel expenses. Yeah, you got to
Right.
tailor to your audience, I guess. I get it.
Yeah, because when Blowout, I remember this very vividly. Blowout in 2006 out in Anaheim, they had an eighth of what they have usually at these shows. I mean, if you go, the wax drives the show. Wax drives the show because that is everything that's tied into promotions with the manufacturers, the box wars, the rapper redemptions, all that stuff is tied into wax. And if you've got the biggest ones, so you've got Blowout in Virginia, you've got Dave and Adams in upstate New York, you have Peachtree in Georgia.
Still City.
Yeah, you have what's the one in Pittsburgh Sports Wholesale, I think, obviously that's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They're all in that line right there on the East Coast. And they're already, I mean, they're probably making a little more nowadays, but back in the day, they weren't going to load up a U-Haul at the cost of the U-Haul and drive it 3 or 4 days across the country to make $4, $5, $6 a box or whatever it is. They just
Sure.
weren't going to do it.
Yeah, it makes sense. I totally get the logistics of that. It makes
Yeah.
sense like that. I mean, this venue itself, it's not small by any means. I
No,
mean,
not at all.
this particular convention center is going to be just roughly over 480,000 square feet, occupied basically by booths that are going to take up almost 135,000 square feet plus, with a total of 648 according to their maps. 648, total vendors, booths, tables, sponsors, whatever you want to call it. It's all being taken. It's a big event. It's huge. So again, I'm familiar with doing large scale conventions with 100,000 plus people. Comic-Con San Diego for 20 straight years.
Right.
So I'm used to that kind of stuff and the crowds like that. But for someone who's not experienced, if it's going to be their first one, because for us, for wrestling cards, it's going to be the first time ever that wrestling cards will have a face at the
Right.
event. And so there's a lot of first time people coming to this show or haven't been in years and years and years, but a lot of first time people. What kinds of things, in your experience, can they expect from this show?
Everything. There will literally be everything that you could want to see at this show. If you want to see PSA 10 Jordan rookies, you want to see LeBron rookies, you want to see high grade 82 All-Stars, they're going to be there. You want to see bobbleheads, you want to see old equipment, you want to see dollar and dime boxes as far as the eye can see. I mean, it really is everything. They have everything. And there's a lot of dealers that, I've gone to, this will be my 20th show. So this is number 20 for me.
Wow.
And full disclosure, I'm kind of a little jaded at this point. I've been to so many of them, and I really go because I hook up with a buddy of mine back east, and we hang out for a couple of days, and then I come back to Arizona.
Yeah.
And we always have a good time, but we don't see each other that much. We see each other for the national. That's it,
Yeah.
So, but we talk regularly, but like I said, we don't see each other. So, it really is. It can be overwhelming. I'll just say it. I mean, it can be overwhelming when you walk through those doors and you're part of the crowd and you look over it's as far as the eye can see, there's everything. And the show last year was one of the biggest I've ever been to. It was huge last year. And we actually ended up leaving a day early because the traffic was so incredible on Thursday, which is typically the slow day. Because what they do is the schedule is Wednesday is a half day. So usually Monday, Tuesday, and then the first half of Wednesday is dealer setup and everything. They get the show set up.
Yep.
They open at 4 or 4:30, maybe 3:30 if you have a VIP. And then it goes till about 8. So you have a half day. Thursday is 10 to 6. Friday's 10 to 6. Saturday's 10 to 6. And I think Sunday's 10 to 5 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday typically is a very, very slow day. People are still working. They're getting into town. They don't want to take off of work. And then as the show progresses, Friday is really busy. And then Saturday is just a madhouse. And then Sunday is really where the deals are to be had. It's like any other convention.
Sure.
You got people that don't want to leave with stuff. They start blowing stuff out if you can get to that day. If you're going for your first time, like for me, I'm going to be there Wednesday and Thursday and I'm out. It's a day and a half for me because my collecting focus is so focused now that it's hard for me to find stuff that I really want to buy, to be honest with you. I mean, I've left the last couple nationals with cash in my pocket, which is almost unheard of, you know, because I just didn't buy anything. I didn't see what I wanted. So it's very overwhelming. You're going to have all the manufacturers are going to be there. All the big wax dealers are going to be there. TriStar has the autograph pavilion, and they'll be running autographs from open to close on Wednesday.
I know Whatnot's got a major sponsorship there because they're sponsoring the entire, you know, ripping area, the box case ripping area.
And I'm sure Loop is going to be there and all the other companies.
Yep. Yep. There's a lot of, I mean, I'm looking at the map right now. And I was checking it all out this morning too. Just kind of getting my bearings a little bit of where everything's kind of at, you know, scheduling some meetings. I got to meet some people here and there. And again, I'm not new to the convention scene by any means. So this is just going to be a change of the curtains for me, basically. It's like that in the same house. But you know, there's a lot of guys coming there like for the first time. Is there any like tips you can give someone that in your experience of like, you know, what kind of, how could they prepare themselves? What should they bring?
I would, well, the first thing I would bring is I'd bring supplies. There's typically one or two supply dealers, you know, top load, sleeves. Bring just a white box to bring cards around. Have a bag of some sort. Have a duffel bag. Have something that you can strap around your shoulder to don't do like a handbag or something like that. You don't want to carry a box around everywhere you go because you're going to end up putting it down and walking away. You just will.
Can happen.
Yeah. So make sure you have, be cognizant of your person, be cognizant of where your money is. Because like anything else, you know, there's always a story every year. This guy got his card stolen. This guy got his money stolen. It happens. It happens. So just
I tell you from experience, people, you're in New Jersey. Strike one. You're on the boardwalk. Strike two.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. So you gotta go gambling. So if you think about it, pack snacks. I believe, if I remember correctly, there are some restaurants across the street from the convention center. The food inside is going to be awful. It's going to be a $20 hamburger that's basically a gas station burger.
Yeah, it's all convention food.
Yeah, it's convention food. There's not going to be anything of any kind of you know, anything good there.
Yeah.
What I would do, so you'll get as you go from table to table, you'll get a really good idea of what that person is selling. Very few dealers mix and match, and by that I mean you're not going to find a dealer, in my experience, you're not going to find a dealer who's selling 1950s baseball and 2020 basketball. It just doesn't work like that. They're going to focus on a certain thing, and they're going to have all vintage baseball, all vintage football, vintage hockey, whatever, comic books. Some guys have comic books. Some guys just do dime boxes. That's all they do. There's a place called a dealer called Singles Club, and all he has is dollar cards. That's it. He's mobbed too all the time. So you'll know pretty quick whether that table is for you or not. If you're going for wrestling cards, you know, wrestling cards it's one of those things where you're not going to see them on every table. You're going to see on 50% of the tables, you're going to see Luka Doncic rookies. You're going to see, you know, Trevor Lawrence rookies. You're going to see LeBron cards. You're going to see Wayne Gretzky cards. But when you find a dealer that has wrestling, take your time when you get there, because that's all they're going to do. That's probably going to be their specialty, is just wrestling. And they might have some niche stuff like boxing and maybe some UFC and stuff like that. But take your time when you find those dealers. And with the explosion of wrestling cards, I would fully expect to see a lot of the high end stuff, a lot of high graded 82s. I think you're going to see that, signed 82s, you know, a lot of classic stuff, and all the way up to the chrome and the stuff we're seeing now, and transcendent. You know, you're going to have the dealers that specialize in that stuff. And so for me, I don't do vintage. So as soon as I see the vintage table, I'm on to the next one.
Yeah.
But I would really, unless something really grabs your attention to where you have to look at it, I would do a lap. I would just start walking. Just start walking, especially if you're there right when it opens. Just start walking, start looking. All of the aisles are numbered from 100 to like 2100 or 2400, and they go in hundreds. So it's aisle
Yep.
100, aisle 200, aisle 300, and then they, the guy's booth will be like 920. I would have a piece of paper and a pencil or something. So if you see something you want to come back to, I would write down the booth and the booth number, because it's very easy to forget where you saw something and you'll never find that dealer again.
Yep.
So just take your time. And like I said, unless it's something that needs your attention right off the bat, I would just take a look, maybe jot some notes, and you're going to get caught up in the hysteria. You really will, because people are going to, it's going to be loud. It's going to be exciting. It is a fun time. But budget yourself along the way. You don't want to walk in for a 3-day show with $2,000 in your pocket, drop your $2,000, and now you got 2 days of looking at stuff you can't buy. So just budget yourself,
Yep.
But like I said, if it's something you have to have, or it's something super, super rare, then go ahead and get it. But if it's, if the guy has like a 91 classic set and you really want it, it's going to be there. Just
Yep.
keep on walking around, take your time. And don't be afraid to haggle. If you get a dealer that gives you the cold shoulder and tells you to buzz off, okay, then buzz off. Who cares?
Yep.
Don't take it personally. There's going to be guys, the biggest thing I think is don't check your phone in front of the dealer. Okay. If you see a card you want, all the dealers are going to be above eBay, straight up. They're going to be above eBay. They got to pay for the table. They got to pay for food, lodging, supplies, setup,
Travel,
gas.
the
They
whole
got to
bit.
pay for all that stuff.
Yep.
They got to pay for all that stuff. It's not free. So yeah, you might be able to get a card for $50, maybe 53 with tax. If the guy has it for 65, just buy it. Just, I mean, if that $12 is a big deal to you, I get it. But for me, I like the instant gratification.
Sure.
But if you really have to check something, if you really have to check a comp, which I hate that word, but if you have to check a comp, I hate that word so much. But if you have to check it, take a look and say, okay, thank you, I appreciate your time. And then he'll turn away, and then you'll turn away, go around the corner, check your comp, and then come back and go from there. But don't say, I'm telling you guys and gals, do not say it is X dollars on eBay. Don't do that. All you're going to do is make them mad. They're going to say, look, I'm not dealing on eBay. Just don't.
And now that $65 card, to someone's like, yeah, well, now because you said that, it's now 75.
Well, yeah, but it's just etiquette. It's just card show etiquette. And, we got a lot of new people in the hobby who comps are the big thing. That's all they base there. They don't base it on anything else. It's comps. And yeah, you may end up paying a little more for a card, but you know what? You get to look at it. You get to look at the condition of it. You get to look it over before you buy it, and then you have it.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait.
There's no waiting for it. There's no
Yeah.
the potential being lost in the mail or damage in the
Right.
mail. It's right there, instantaneous like that. There's
Yeah.
there's something to be said for paying for something for the convenience right there too.
I'm big on convenience.
Yeah.
I'm really big on convenience. I'll pay a couple extra bucks for convenience.
Oh, hey, I mean, I'm well aware of doing that too. I mean, we just got back from vacation last week in California. We tried to cut corners and got a hotel that we weren't familiar with. And that first day, we didn't even last that afternoon. We're like, we're out of here. We just can't do this. We'll pay the extra $700 to go stay at the Embassy Suite like we usually do. And it was worth every penny of it for the convenience, for the hospitality, for all the amenities. It was just something we were used to, and it was worth it. But it's same thing, in cards buying, you find something like that and you're happy with it. Sometimes you just got to buy it right there. You pay a little bit more, but you do get that instant gratification right then and there.
And just be firm in your negotiation. If you want to pay $50 and that's where you're at, then pay $50. And if you don't if the guy doesn't want to do it, walk away.
You just say, hey, would you take 50? He says no, you walk away.
Yeah.
You don't have to throw comps. You don't have to throw, eBay stuff. You don't have to throw anything else at it. Just, throw out your offer. And if it doesn't get accepted, you move on.
Yeah. I mean, it's the problem that we have with, I'm going to sound like an old man. The problem with the newer generation is that everything's anonymous. You throw your offer on eBay, you throw your offer on Twitter, you throw your offer on Instagram. And if they don't like it, you can just block them and never have to deal with them again. But now you're face to face with somebody,
Yep.
face to face with a guy this is his business. This is his business. It's so important that he is shelling out minimum, I think, $800 for the week for the table. That's not counting everything else. He's just paying. And as they get,
Which
so
for this
the way
kind
the
of
show
event, the size of this convention, that's pretty damn cheap because you know what the
Yeah.
table
You
prices
know,
are at
honestly,
Comic-Con San Diego. It's like almost $3,000.
yeah, and honestly, my number might be off. That's the last I heard, but that's before the boom and everything else. It could be like 1,500 for the week now to be on the outskirts, like in the no man's land. You know?
Sure.
And but the way the show is set up is all of the dealers are right smack in the middle, and there's a carpeted area. So the majority of the show is cement, and then when you hit the carpeted area, that's where Panini's going to be, Blowout's going to be there, Upper Deck's going to be there, Tops will be there. Leaf will be there.
Looking
You
at the
know,
legend right now, Tops and Fanatics are connected to each other basically. Dynamics will be right across from them, followed with next to Steel City Collectibles, and you got
Yeah.
Golden, Blowout Cards, Panini, Dave and Adams, Heritage will be there, Pristine Auction, Upper Deck, Beckett, Leaf, Certified Stores. You know, they're all it's that whole middle area, which is all 50 by 50s and 25 by 50 size booths and stuff like that. That's all your manufacturers and wholesalers and big time dealers there.
yeah. And I'm going to tell everybody right now, if you're coming to complain about something, they don't care. Straight
True.
up, they don't
Yep.
care.
They don't
A
care.
lot of the staff is hired to just be there and hand out promos and say, hey, how you doing? They don't know anything. There's going to be guys there and gals there who know the inner workings of the company. And if you can find one of them, you might get some satisfaction. But for the most part, if you're going there to complain, it's going to fall on deaf ears. I'm just telling you right now. So don't even waste your breath and get yourself in a bad mood.
It's an awfully expensive way to go complain somebody, really.
but everybody does it.
Yeah, they all do it.
I've been waiting on it. I've been waiting on a $2,000 redemption for 3 years now. I'm going to tell some kid making $12 an hour. He really cares.
He does not care, man. It's like going to drive-through, man, bitching and complaining at someone at the drive-through about the last time you were there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't even work here when you came back through. So
That's right. It's like it sounds like a you problem, sir. Stop coming here then.
yeah, but that's that's really bad, sir. Well, we're working on it. Yeah,
We're working on it. We're working on it. I'll make sure that gets right to the right people, man. I'll get that reported right away. So
yeah, good luck.
yeah. For me, my recommendation to people for conventions, if it's your first convention, make sure you pack and wear some comfortable shoes. That's very important. You're going to be on your feet a lot.
Don't
There's
wear
gonna be-
flip flops.
Yep. There's going to be very, very little places to sit and
Yep.
go through people's boxes of cards. You're going to be standing a lot. So if you need to take some breaks, there'll be chairs outside, usually the food court areas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, wear some comfortable shoes.
Yeah, 100%. Don't and I see it every year. A guy drags his girlfriend to the show and she's wearing heels, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that, because they don't know what to expect. So yeah, wear comfortable shoes, bring water.
Yep. I don't know. What is the policy for the place? You allowed to bring bottled water in?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I would just smuggle it in. I'd put it in a backpack. They're not going to check.
Surprising to me that they wouldn't check for something like that, but yeah.
No,
You never
they're
know.
not
Yeah, if you can bring water, bring some water. Obviously, you want to pack maybe some. For me personally, I think it's good to have stuff like pack yourself some nuts if you're not allergic to nuts. You know, like walnuts, like that.
Yeah,
That'll help
granola
you.
bars, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
granola bars. Anything that's going to keep your because you're going to want to spend the most of your time surveying the floor, checking out a lot of people's inventory, and that it's going to before you know it, man, you're going to get there at 10 a.m. when the doors open. And before you know it, it's like holy crap, it's dinner time, and time will fly by. You're going to have fun, obviously, but yeah. And then, like you said too, budget yourself too. That's also a key thing, to budget yourself.
Mhm.
Just don't blow your wad, man. If you're there for 3-4 days, you got to make that money last.
Right.
Do a lot of guys, I imagine, Comic-Con's a little bit different for vendors. Yes, most do, but I work mostly with celebrity talent, and at that tables, we don't typically take credit cards, but everybody's gonna be able to take credit cards here.
Yeah, everybody's going to take Venmo, or they'll have the little swipe, the little square they put on top of their
Sure.
phone. Everybody's going to they'll take PayPal. Everybody, with the exception of a few dealers that are just not caught up with the way things work now, they'll take credit cards. That shouldn't
So
be a problem.
if you're not someone who feels comfortable, especially being in that area, whatever the case may be, I'm giving New Jersey a hard time. I almost moved there, but you know, you don't feel comfortable carrying cash. You know, you could just, you know, bring your cards, man. Make sure your cards are loaded up, and you know, go out. I also recommend, if you know specifically what you're looking for, not like most collectors wouldn't know this already, but again, if you're new to the hobby, so you know, bring your list. Have
Oh
a
yeah,
either handwritten
absolutely.
list, typed out list, keep it on your phone if you need to, wherever you need to, but have it right there ready and handy
Yeah.
for you. So, you know, do I really need that card? Do I have it already? It's just important to have.
Yeah, I mean, you really, there's a lot of homework you have to do beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I've got my list ready for stuff that, you know, I don't expect to find it, but if I find it, I'll have my list available to look at it. So one of the things I want to talk about are the wrapper redemptions.
Yes.
So this is a big part of the show. So the companies, and they've started, Upper Deck and Leaf have released what they're going to do. I have not seen anything on Tops or Panini yet, but if they're true to form, Tops will do a something baseball set, and Panini will do a multi-sport set, and it's expensive. It's expensive because it used to be about 10 years ago, you could bring wax in. So you could go to your dealer and say, look, you get the product list of, and everything's different. So for instance, if you open a box of WWE Revolution, you might get 2 silver packs from Panini. And if you open a you know, some high-end baseball, you might get 5. It's all based on the dollar value.
Sure.
We used to bring in cases and just rip cases cheap, and then they, you know, got wise to it. And so now you have to buy your wax at the show, and they put a sticker on the box. And if you don't have that sticker, they won't redeem the product.
Gotcha.
And there's only a few dealers that have it. So if you're going to buy wax for the wrapper redemptions, make sure they have the sticker. Dave and Adams, Blowout, Steel City, those guys are all legit. But there's a couple of like semi-big wax dealers that are not part of the redemption program. And if you buy your wax from them, they don't have the sticker, and they're not gonna honor it. So just make sure you're buying it from the right people. You're gonna pay more. You know, a box of Revolution is what, 120 bucks now. You'll probably pay 130, 150 because they got you. They got you in the show.
Has
And if you don't
Revolution
have-
shot up that high?
I
I just got quoted last week $68.
oh, serious? Is it down that low?
Yeah.
Okay, I would still expect it to be 120 or 130 bucks there,
Okay.
because they've got you. You're a captive audience, and if you want to partake in the wrapper redemption, you got to buy their stuff.
Sure.
That's the way it works. So basically, you open the box, you give them the wrappers, they give you your you know, freebies. They're not really freebies, but they give you your wrapper redemptions, and then they have some really nice stuff. You know, there's always a chance to hit something really, really nice out of those packs. There will be dealers that will have the packs for sale. One is, if I remember correctly, his name is Dan Deering. He goes by D Deering, Dearing. I haven't seen the guy in years. We're not friends. We don't talk, but he's one of the guys that won't search the packs. If you can find him, he'll have them in his case. He charges $10 a silver pack, or sorry, $20 a silver pack, and they're unsearched. And that's, if you want to be part of the program without, you know, paying the full price, go to them, and they will, because the packs, I mean, they're 2 cards in a pack, and you can find real quick if you got something in a pack. It's you can see it when you walk into the Panini booth and they've got them in that shoebox, and you'll see a pack that's 5 times fatter than the rest of the pack, you know, and they just hand them out in order. So if you can find a dealer that's selling them that seems like he's trustworthy, I'd go with that personally, if you want to be part of it. But a lot of people do it with their kids. They like doing it with their kids. And I'm not poo-pooing the program. I just think it's really expensive for what you get. And it's really easy to spend a lot of money doing that.
Well, I mean,
So,
if you're already interested in buying some of the product as it is, it's kind of
Sure.
a little bit of a bonus for you, I guess. Then.
yeah, it is. It is. Like I said, you're going to pay more. I can't believe it's $68 a box now.
Yeah, it might even be less than that, because the local guy here, I got a guy here locally. I mean, you and I are both here, and
Who is it?
there's a shop over here that I go through that has a guy. It's 3D sports cards.
Oh, it's Daryl. Okay.
Yeah, Daryl. Yeah. So Daryl's got a guy that reached out to him and started offering him, soliciting him a bunch of product. And that's where I got that case of Revolution from. Originally, when it was I got it at $83 a box.
Wow. Because Revolution's always been a cheap product.
I know. And so it
It's
came
always
down.
been $70 a box.
So and I suspect it was going to come down to the 55 or upper 50 type price point, but I haven't checked with Daryl. I just finished designing a flyer for him. He's got a UFC girl coming in the store to do a signing next month. So I did a flyer
Oh,
for
he
him.
is?
Yeah.
Good for him.
So I'll check with him again tomorrow.
Yeah. So, if you want to be part of that, it's great. There are some ways to make some cash at the show. There's a lot of freebies. And just go around to the companies and talk to them. I mean, I probably score a couple $100 every year just from pocketing freebies and selling them on eBay. Beckett does a scavenger hunt, which is kind of cool. And
That's
it's
cool.
If you've seen the cards, they're regular trading cards, but they're Beckett covers. So what they'll do is they partner with, I don't know, 9 or 10 different dealers. And they have a list, and you got to go find, Bob's sports cards, and Bob will have the Shohei Ohtani card. And sometimes Bob will just give you the card if you ask, and sometimes Bob wants you to buy a card for $5 and you get the Shohei Ohtani. And then you go to Tony's sports cards, and he's got the Luka Doncic card, and it's the same thing. You guys spend $5-10. A lot of them do it for charity. They have a charity, and so you throw $5 into the till for the charity, you get the card, and then once you get all the cards, you can go back to Beckett and they give you a prize. I think last time it was like a random signed 8x10, but that set I usually get about $75 for that set, and you don't really have more than like 20 or $25 into it.
Okay.
Let me grab something real quick and I'll show you, because Tops and eBay really hit a home run last year. Give me 1 second.
Sure, no problem. So people when you're doing these conventions, these are all really important tips, I think, for you to kind of be mindful of when you're. It's just a lot to take in, man. I know from experience. I brought Chuckster to his first real big convention that was not wrestling related type stuff. I brought him to Steel City Con last year. He came out, he drove out there, and I gave him the full VIP treatments like that. I had Kurt Angle there, and so I'm there to set up, and Chuckster got in there early, and he was blown away by. And it's not even a very big show. As far as size. But
Chuckster's going to lose his mind when he sees this show.
Oh yeah, he's going to lose his mind, and we're going to be there to hold him just in case he's going to be overwhelmed. So
he's going to take about 3 steps in and just kind of do like the in the movies when the guy finally gets to the ballpark you always wanted to go to, he just stands there and looks at it all.
Just soak it all in, man.
Yeah, he's just gonna And like I said, it's a lot. It's overwhelming. You're going to see possibly $1 million cards. I'm sure Ken Golden will have a bunch of crazy stuff with armed guards.
Sure.
You'll see the guy who's got 20 PSA 10 Derek Jeter rookies, SP rookies that are $500,000 a pop. You'll see all those guys. I mean, literally anything you want to see. You want to see like Leaf Babe Ruth cards, they're there. If you want to see Honus Wagner cards, if you want to see a PSA 10 Gretzky rookie, it'll be there. It'll be there, everywhere. But what I want to show you is, so last year Topps partnered with eBay and DJ Ski, and DJ Ski is one of the guys who's part of the Project 100. He was Project
70, wasn't it? 100? No, it's Project 2020.
2020.
2020, yeah, 2020.
Project 100 is happening now. There's so many projects now I can't keep up. But what they did was he actually took, because the show is in Chicago, he took 4 Kanye West covers and reimagined them as sports collectibles. So this was the Jordan. Now cool. You can't say Jordan, but that's obviously Michael Jordan.
Sure.
And it says on the back, it says, "I feel like Mike."
But I ain't him.
I feel like Mike. And then I'm not a big Kanye West fan, so I don't really know what the covers were for. But this was another album cover. This is Astro World for Kanye West, and it's the Cubby.
Yep.
And then Chicago Bears. I think this was maybe Dropout. I'm not sure. I'm not a big Kanye West fan, but and then this was a hockey one. I think this was Patrick Kane for the Blackhawks, but I'm not entirely sure. And all you had to do to get these, they were completely free. You had to wait in line. They had about 5 or 6 tablets. You had to fill out a survey for eBay. what do you buy, how much you spend, how much time, it's all data
Sure.
processing. And then they gave you a random one for free. And if you got all four, which is right here, if you got all four,
Yep.
they took down your name and address, and then they sent you the fifth card, which there was 808 totally redeemed. And this is number 83 of 808. And it's Michael Jordan with his 5 rings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Totally free. And I
Nice.
can tell you right now, at the show, I was selling the Jordan one for as high as $75 a card.
Wow.
And I was getting, to people in the crowd too, because everybody wanted to complete the set. So I was getting $75 a card for the Jordan. I think I might have gotten actually $100 for the first one I sold. Then they start going down, and now they're kind of cheap. I think you can buy the whole set with the special Jordan for $100. I think you can buy them all, and they're really cool. They're really nice. They're nice, high quality. They're all in mags, and they got the sticker on them and everything. But I made a pretty good chunk of money just selling them as I got them, and I kept the set for myself. And then actually they had DJ Ski come in, and we waited in line, and he signed this one for me.
Nice.
So all free. And I think that I could have gotten like probably $300 when I got home but I kept it because I liked it, something for me to keep. So just keep your eyes out, ask what they're doing. There's always an opportunity to make a little bit of cash on the side, always at these things. Panini was partnering with some company, introducing some kind of interactive basketball set. I forget what it's called, but they had a couple of promo cards, and I got like 2 sets of promo cards, and I got $25 a set. It's free money. It's like picking up money off the ground. It's really that easy. But just take it all in, take your time, have water, good shoes, budget your money. Don't hit the tables too hard. TriStar will have autograph signings through the entire week.
I know. I gotta stand in line for one of them. It's
Who
already
you
been
getting?
pre-bought. Allen Iverson
Oh, what are you getting signed?
jersey.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine he'd probably be pretty popular. I remember the last time I waited in line was 2011, maybe, for Mike Tyson. It was Mike Tyson's first public signing. I think that was in Chicago too, if I'm not mistaken. And
No, 2011. I'm trying to remember because he had a table, a booth right next to us at Frank and Son Collectible Show in California.
Well, yeah, but once the dam broke on that, he started signing everywhere.
Yeah, this was early. This was real early. He hadn't signed. Like we were shocked to see him there. And I remember, I think it was in conjunction with Sean Jacoby from American Icon. They brought him in. It was a convention, a weird convention called Nuke the Fridge Con that took place inside of Frank and Son. And we had like, who were we working with? I was there with I think I was there with Morrison and Molina at the time. And I believe the Bella twins were there. Kelly, Demolition was there, and Tyson was there. And people kind of lost their shit over Tyson coming in and everything. And he was happy to be around all these pretty girls.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was crazy because when TriStar announced him, I immediately bought an 8x10 reproduction of one of the SI covers. I think it was the Kid Dynamite. I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's a Dynamite cover. And I had to get it signed because I didn't have a Tyson autograph. And I paid my $150 or whatever it was. And Mike didn't even ask where I wanted the autograph. He just wrote his name. What are you going to tell Mike Tyson where to, and so they do the meet and greet photos beforehand, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And he was supposed to do it for an hour and a half, and it went like 3 or 4 hours, cutting into the autograph time. And then he signed for another like 4 hours. I mean, he was there.
That's very nice of him to do that, because some guys just don't do it. I can start quoting some names, but I won't do it just because I just can't do it. That are just 3 hours is 3 hours, man. It's like, oh, it's 3 hours and 1 minute. I'm getting up and leaving the table now. If you want to stay here, it's another 5,000.
Yeah, you know who was like that in 2004 was Matt Leinart, because I remember getting a Trojans helmet signed, but that was in Anaheim. Was it 04 or 06? It was 06. Sorry, it was 06. I got a helmet signed by him and Reggie Bush, and Reggie Bush was super nice. super nice to everybody. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. And Matt Leinart was the opposite. And Matt Leinart, when he was done, he threw that pen down and he was gone through the curtain. He wanted to be anywhere else but where he was. So, but no, Tyson was super cool, super nice. You couldn't take pictures of him while you were in line. He had a big entourage. They were putting their hands up and saying, hey, don't do that and stuff like that. But when he got up there, he's super nice, super, super nice. So
yeah, I had nothing but a good experience with him. It's like that. I got a picture with him somewhere and a couple things that he signed for me.
yeah, no, he's super, super nice.
It was really nice. But yeah, so it's going to be a big event, man. Big event. As people might know, if you're watching this or listening to this, you know, wrestling cards are making a presence this year at the National. For the first time ever, we get to be on, you know, talk about wrestling cards on the main stage there. That'd be on Thursday, July 28th from 5 to 6 p.m. We're closing the show out that day, folks. And
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to the Hard Rock afterwards.
Yeah, afterwards,
we're right next door.
We're gonna be going to Hard Rock afterwards. You know, time will be determined. It won't be right after the show, obviously, but because we'll probably hang out a little bit. But expect it somewhere between 7:45, 8 o'clock at night, probably. So we'll have reservations. We'll just make it for some obscene large number. We don't know how many people are going to come, but it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. First time meeting a lot of people in person. It'd be great. And I'm hoping that what I hope for, what I'm planning on doing at the Hard Rock, is I want just a giant group photo of all of us.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
All of us wrestling
it'll be
fans.
A good time.
All of us wrestling card collectors. So
yeah, it'll be a good time. And
that's great.
You know, one more thing, if you think about it, and I know some people do this, I don't do this, but some people do this, get like a white Post-it, like a label, and just write what you're looking for on it. And that'll save you having to explain to somebody what, just say you're looking for wrestling.
Yep.
You know, and then they'll say, hey, I got wrestling. This is what I got. And they may have it in a box under a table. They may not have it out. So instead of talking to, 300 dealers, oh, I'm looking for wrestling, I don't have that. Just, put a sticker on your chest that says wrestling cards, and maybe they'll pull.
I might go get a quick T-shirt made that says I collect wrestling cards.
Yeah, I mean something like that. But just take your time. If you're a novice to this, soak it all in. Take your time. Walk the floor. Don't jump on the first deal you see. Just take your time. Just pump the brakes a little bit and relax, and just spend some time window shopping, and then write down where you want to go and go back to those dealers. And you know what? The dealers are always really, really nice. And I don't know where this idea that everybody stinks, everybody's like, oh, you got to wear deodorant, of course you got to wear deodorant, but the people make it out like everybody smells, and it's kind of ridiculous and stereotypical, but it is what it is.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one, sir, because many
conventions
I've gone to, man, it got so bad for certain shows. It's notorious every year for whatever reason. It's maybe
really?
That region, maybe it's that particular city. I don't know what it is. I got to the point where I brought a Febreze with me. I used to bring that with me. I used to also bring, and I always bring packs of gum and Tic Tacs, because people talking to you have the most wretched breath ever. We have nicknames for people in certain parts of the country from conventions I do. We have a guy, we call him Batman. We have another guy we call Specs. We have another guy we call Clueless. We have a bunch of different guys, and every one of those guys has some sort of a bodily odor problem of some kind.
I have never in 20 years smelled anybody that smelled bad at the show. So I feel for you. I'm sure it's disgusting.
I did a show here. Matter of fact, here in 2017 here in Phoenix, when it used to be called the Phoenix Comic-Con, now it's called Fan Fusion. Well, their first fusion show they had in 2017, it was called Phoenix Fan Fusion. And I had Lisa Marie, Victoria, and Gail Kim at that show. And we had a guy came in there, and he had put his arm around them to take a picture, and they couldn't get that smell off of them for the rest of the day. They both had to they had to go back to the room to change clothes.
Oh, it's like Seinfeld with the car.
It was so bad. Yes. It just wouldn't go away. It's horrible. So
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people. And if you see me come up, I'm a big guy. I'm probably going to look mad. It's just the way my face looks. I'm not. Just come up and say hi. It's genetics. If you saw my dad, my grandfather, and my one daughter, it goes on down the line. I usually look pissed off. I'm not. Just come say hi.
Oh, poor
And
kid.
if I don't see you at the show, I'll see you at dinner. But I'll be there at Hard Rock. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
All right, guys, make sure you guys come check us out on, again, Thursday night, July 28th there at the National Sports Convention. We'll be there talking about wrestling cards, first time ever, from 5 to 6 p.m. main stage. Afterwards, come hang out with us at the Hard Rock Cafe, have some dinner, have some drinks, have a good time. It's gonna be fun, guys. It's gonna be fun. So I got nothing else for you, man.
No, that's it. It's pretty much common sense. Everybody have a good time, and I hope to see you there.
Yep. And so check us out, man. Go to wrestlingtradingcards.com. Click on the links in the bottom for all of our social media. You can find out everywhere. You can get a hold of us all kinds of ways. So if you have any more tips, feel free to comment. Let us know, man. And until next time. All right.
We'll do. See you soon.
All right, man. We're out.
All right.